How you guys doing? I hope you guys are doing well. Welcome to Queenie V's community. Welcome to our channel. In today's video, guys, I want to talk to you about tips that will enable you to become successful in your practice placement as a student. I want to share with you as well about what to expect when you come and do your practice placement here in UK. I'm going to give you tips, advice, and also share my knowledge with you in terms of practice placement here in UK as a student. If you are interested, let's jump into the video. So, what are some of the tips that will enable you to pass your practice placement? What are some of the expectations of you as a student when you are doing your practice placement here in UK? Tip number 1 is about the induction. When you come to do your practice placement here in UK, you'll be engaged in an induction period, and it's about 3 weeks induction where you will be given opportunity to shadow other qualified social workers, to shadow other teams, and to also learn about the processes and the dynamics within the team that you are coming to do your placement. So my advice to you is to take your induction period so seriously and try to shadow as much as possible other qualified social workers. Especially my advice for you is to make sure that you go to other teams to go and shadow them, so you'll be able to know exactly what goes on within other teams, so you can be more informed, you can be more aware about where even you want to work when you qualify as a social worker. For example, if you are working within the children in care team, my advice to you is during the induction or during your practice placement, make sure that you go and shadow other teams such as the child protection team, the frontline child protection, which is the MASH team, the first response team, and the safeguarding team. So you can get more understanding about the dynamics that goes on within the frontline child protection. You'll be able to understand more about how we work with family, how we do our visits, how we do the assessment within the frontline child protection team. My tip for you is that during the induction, make sure that you ask your practice educator or your practice supervisor or the manager within the team that you are doing your placement, the policies and procedure, the legislations that is governing the local authority where you are working in, especially within the team where you are doing your practice placement, because you need to be more informed and more aware of the policies and procedure legislation. Each local authority have got a general legislation, policies and procedure, but each team also have different legislation, different policies and procedure that is govern a particular team. For instance, if you are working within the fostering team, definitely there are policies and procedures that is governing the fostering team, which you should be aware of. If you are working within the children in care team, there are policies and procedures that is govern the team within the children in care team. If you are doing your practice placement within the safeguarding team, there are legislations, policies, and procedure that relates to the frontline child protection team. So you should be aware of the general legislations, policies, and procedure, but you should also be aware of the legislations and policy that is govern that particular team that you are doing your practice placement. Another tip that I want to share with you is to be able to identify your learning needs. Your learning needs is so very important when you start your practice placement, because there is a meeting you will be doing which is called the PLA meeting, the Placement Learning Agreement meeting, and a report needs to be written before the PLA meeting, and you need to be able to identify your learning needs. So your practice educator will be able to write up a report that will state how your practice educator is going to meet your learning needs. So you'll be able to gain the skills, the knowledge, the experience that you need to be able to become an effective practitioner when you qualify as a social worker. My tip for you is to be able to understand the PCF model. PCF stands for Professional Capability Framework Model. It should be the bread and butter for students and also for practice educators, because we use the PCF model to write our reflective logs. The students will use it to write her reflective logs. The PCF model is what practice educator like myself will use it to write the report about the student. So every student here in the UK needs to understand the PCF model. It should be your bread and butter. So you need to spend time to read to understand the PCF model before even you start your practice placement here in UK. The tip I want to share with you in terms of the PCF model is that everything that you do, you need to be able to link it up to the PCF model. So if you are writing about your learning needs for the placement, you need to link it up with the PCF model. If you are talking about your reflective logs, if you are reflecting and you are doing your logs, link it up with the PCF model, because that is what you are going to be measured with, that is what you are going to be judged with, and that is what your practice educator is going to use to write her report. Like I said, if you are meeting the competencies, the skills, and the knowledge, the KSS in conjunction with the PCF model is what your practice educator will be using. So make sure you understand the PCF model and make sure you understand the KSS, which is the knowledge and skill statement, which is also very important for students and for practice educators. Keep getting a number of questions from students around the PCF model, which is the Professional Capability Framework model. So I will do a video and talk into details about what the PCF model is all about. So watch out for that video. Another tip I want to share with you is about observations. Expectation of a student in UK when they are doing their practice placement is about being observed. You will be involved in 3 different observations, and your practice educator will need to write a report about how well you have done in your observations, and also if there are any gaps, she will write a report as to how she's going to support you to fill in the gap. So it's something that you need to expect that you are going to go through when you are doing your practice placement here. Also, expect that you're going to be involved in receiving feedback. It could be a critical feedback or a good feedback. Whichever feedback you receive, take it in a good faith that you are learning, you are a student, you are in the placement to learn. So feedback shouldn't knock your confidence down. As a matter of fact, feedback should be able to lift you up. So that's something that you are going to be engaging in. Receiving feedbacks from your practice educator, receiving feedback from the service user, the clients that you are going to work with, and you're going to receive feedback from professionals as well. The feedback is there to help you to learn, to help you to develop your skills and knowledge in social work. So when you qualified as a social worker, you can become an effective practitioner and support the vulnerable people in the community where you are going to work as a qualified social worker. Another tip that I want to share with you is to ask questions. There is no such thing as irrelevant questions. So spend time to learn, spend time to ask as much questions as possible so you can develop your knowledge and skills in social work. And also start going into the placement with passion to learn, with a view that you are going there to learn, and engage well with the member of staff. Try to go and approach other members of staff, to shadow them, to ask questions like I said, and to learn from them. So come out of your shelf. I do understand when you start a placement, sometimes it's so very intimidating, seeing a number of social workers going in and out, other professionals going in and out, and you are a student. I do understand because I've been a student before. But try your best as much as possible to also interact with the people. They might seem very busy. I always tell the student, you will see the social workers very busy writing their report, going in and out. But when you approach anyone asking questions, they are more than happy to leave whatever they are doing and to answer your questions. So my advice to you is to come out of your shell. Don't hide in the corner, but try to feel part of the team and try to engage as much as possible. And you will learn so much and you'll be able to pass your practice placement. Another tip I want to share with you is about supervision, the importance of supervision. Believe me or not, every social worker needs supervision. Even the service managers, the director of children's services, they all need supervision. They all ask for supervision. So when you are a student, make sure that you are getting the supervision, because the university have stated here in UK that every student should have at least 1.5 hours of supervision every week. And this includes informal supervision as well. But at least there has to be a structured supervision for you on weekly basis, where you will get support, where you can have a room, opportunity to ask questions and to learn. My advice to you is that you have to prepare for supervision, and when you go into supervision, at least have some agendas that you are going to discuss with your practice educator, that will sell you out, that will make your practice educator know that you are there to learn, not just go into supervision unprepared, not knowing what you are doing, not bringing supervision issues that you need to ask, questions that you need to ask, and you are just sitting down in supervision, taking information from your practice educator. You as a student as well need to come into supervision prepared and well organized in terms of learning and developing your skills. This will help you to pass your practice placement in social work. My tip for you is to be able to embark on training if you want to develop yourself and knowledge in social work and pass your practice placement successfully. My tip for you is to be able to be reflective, writing your reflective log. My tip for you to ensure that you take the time out, because every university have stated that students will need to take a reflective time out to write their reflective log. So make sure that your practice educator is giving you those time out so you can be able to do your reflective log appropriately, and share some of the reflective logs with your practice educator as well. One advice I want to give to you guys is that if you feel that you are not being supported, if you feel that you are not getting the support that you need, especially if you are not getting the right supervision, if your practice educator keep reminding you about how you are going to fill your practice placement, don't bottle it in, don't keep it in. Honestly, take it from me, I have a nasty experience that I encountered when I was a student, and I will do a video to talk about it. This is one of the reasons why I'm doing videos to help students, to guide students, to educate students, to share tips and knowledge with students, because I have experienced a nasty one when I was a student and it didn't go particularly well for me. I had to repeat my placement all over again. And I'm encouraging everyone who is listening to me and you are having a difficult practice placement, don't bottle it in. Try to let the people help you, especially people at the university, your practice placement coordinator, and also your personal tutor, and the social workers that are working within the development, training and development workforce. They are there to help you. They are there to assist you. So if you feel that your practice educator is not particularly helping you very well, don't bottle anything in. This is my advice to you, and I wish everyone a successful practice placement. I hope you have learned something out of this video. I hope this video has at least give you some tips as to how you can be able to pass your practice placement here in UK. If you have any questions that I have not been able to answer, put that in the comment section. I'm more than happy to do videos that will enrich your learning, your skills and knowledge in social work. So put all your comments for me and I will do a video to cover those questions. I want to end by saying your dreams and aspirations can come true. You never know. Anything that you plan to do can come true, but it will never be given to you on a silver plate. It will never be given to you on a gold plate. You need to work hard towards your dreams and be smart about your dreams and your aspiration as well. And one day it can come to pass. And there are inner strength in you. Feel empowered and reach out for your goals and aspirations. Take care of yourself and see you on my next video. And bye.